Having your dog being able to recall to you at the drop of a dime and to stay put when told are two essential skills that every dog and owner should have, right? This is what allows us to bring our dogs with us places. This is what allows us to give them freedom. So we use the word come for recall to get our dogs to us. And then we can use any of the stay commands, sit, down, or place. Those are the three stay commands that we use. And the idea is that whenever we call our dog, this is Miss Palmer, who I'm working with today, they drop what they're doing and they come to us. And then we put them immediately into a stay command. With Palmer today, I'm going to be using the sit. So I'm going to have her free roaming. I mean, she's on a break. She can do whatever she wants. I call her. As soon as I say come, if she doesn't respond, I tap on the e-collar. If she still blows me off, then I go higher with the e-collar numbers every time I have to ask. When she gets to me, I put her in a sit, and she stays there until I release her with the word break. This is an exercise that you can do right in your back lawn. You can do it, we're luckily fenced in, so we don't need any long line or anything. And you can also just start in your back lawn and then take it to somewhere more distracting until you got these skills down. You should always be able to get your dog to come to you when you call to them, and they should always stay when you tell them to. So this is how we do it. Palmer, come. Good girl. If her nose goes down at any moment, I click. Good girl. Another click there. Come. Sit. Good. So you guys got to see there, when I recalled to her, she came, so I didn't tap the button. But she stopped to sniff 2 times, and each time I gave her a correction on the e-collar, which resulted with her stop sniffing and to come, and she came to me. No. Sit. The mild correction on the e-collar there at a 10. I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go to a 20 now, so if she gets up again, that the correction's going to be higher. So now she's in her sit stay. This means she can't get up until I release her, even if I walk away. So you can start by practicing small circles around your dog, and if they get up, you say no, you correct on the e-collar, and you put them back into the command they were in. We're using sit right now. Break. Good girl. And just like that, she's free again. So we'll repeat this. So I say come, she doesn't come, I click. If at any time she stops or your dog stops to sniff, you click. Now the intensity that you use is going to change, so watch your dog. When I asked her to sit and she stood up and I said no and I corrected, it was at a 10. I noticed she went back into the sit, but I noticed that the 10 wasn't very consequential for her. So I dialed up to a 20 to prepare to correct her if she got out of her sit again. So basically the rule of thumb is, and it really makes sense if you think about it, every time we give a command, they get a second to comply, and then we correct if they don't comply. Every time after that, we have to ask, the correction's gonna go higher. This gets a dog to listen the first time, okay? So let's do another one here. Got my level on a 15. I'm gonna go with a 15 to start. She's over there sniffing, a good distance away. Come. Correction there. Good girl. Sit. Good. So, I said come. She didn't come in my direction. She started to wander in the opposite direction, put her head down for a sniff. Click. Come. Here, and then she came, okay? Now she's in a sit. So I practice walking away from her, leaving her in a sit. We commonly do this with a down stay as well. Then you have an option here to either release her with B-R-E-A-K, or you can just go into another recall. Come. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Good. Down. I click there on the e-collar. Down. I'm on an 8 on the e-collar. Down. What we're seeing right now. Down. what we're seeing right now, because I'm on an 8 and I know that's not consequential for her, we're seeing a dog who didn't want it down. And oftentimes the dogs don't want it down on the pea gravel for whatever reason. So we can use that. So every time I said down and she didn't down, I clicked and then asked again. Because it was effective, the 8, I didn't dial up because it was effective. But all those little squeaks, that was frustration because she knew I was able to hold her accountable and I was gonna get that down, and she didn't really want it down. But that's the name of the game. That's why we do what we do. We have to have our dogs to do perform these commands, even and especially when they prefer not to. So if your dog gives you a little squeak or a little protest, no, down, down. Don't give up, stick with it, right? What I just did there is I told her no, and I corrected until she went down to it, back into a down. I continued to tap until she put that belly on the ground, right? And this is how we make progress. This is what it looks like. This is behind the scenes, if you will. You know, this is how we get dogs to be really tight. They don't just come here, then overnight they become really well behaved. We have to provide these experiences. What happens when you keep breaking your command? Oh, this is what happens. We continue to get onto you, right? And it produces a dog who stops breaking their commands. So if you're correcting your dog and they're putting up a little bit of a stink, it's normal. It's normal. They're used to getting away with doing what they want, so of course they're gonna put up a stink, right? Don't let that deter you from getting what you need out of your dog. And what happens is your dog just becomes more and more compliant, more and more reliable, because guess what? They're adaptable. They're very adaptable, and they will adapt to whatever you do consistently. Remember that. Break. Good girl.